everybody, this is Namita Thapar, Executive Director of MCure Pharmaceuticals, and today on Uncondition Yourself, we bring to you a very important topic, menstrual disorders. I'd like to share a statistic that is extremely shocking. There are 23 million girls in our country who annually drop out of school because of lack of infrastructure pertaining to menstrual hygiene, not having sanitary pads, or just the basic taboos associated with it. This is a topic we all need to get more aware of and we need to speak openly about. And so today, to discuss both the medical aspects as well as the aspects pertaining to stigma and awareness, we have our expert with us, Dr. Sanjay Gupte. We have Dr. Meenu Agarwal, and we have our two lovely ladies, Jyoti and Dipti. So let us start, Dr. Gupte, with talking about what are the most common menstrual disorders? Is it mainly heavy bleeding, or they're not getting your periods at all? Can you tell us more about it?
Sure. See, basically the menstrual disorders, we find it near puberty and near menopause. More important ones are where the bleeding is in excess. And the other ones where the bleeding should be there and bleeding is not there, the menses are not there, and then one is worried about getting menses. Because all this has to do with hormonal changes which occur around these times.
If someone is having excessive bleeding, what would be the causes and how would you treat it?
Some girls would feel, a little more just 2 pads or 3 pads a day, while others, even when they're passing cloths and all, they'll feel, oh, it's good, I'm bleeding, so I'm cleaning myself. That misconceptions about the menstrual period is so much that sometimes when they don't get their menses, they tell us, oh, I'm feeling bloated, something is inside me, remaining inside. It's not like that, it's a normal physiological process, and I think many times that's not understood properly.
Very true. So at what point, you brought up a very important point, as a young teenager, at what point should she realize what is normal and what is not normal? What are the parameters?
First of all, education of these girls, 50% of the girls till they get their first menses are entirely unaware about the menses itself, and then it's a sudden shock. She may start suddenly bleeding, start crying, so first of all we have to address that, and only if somebody is passing excessive bleeding like 4 or 5 pads a day with cloths and all, then one can call it as excessive.
Right. I had a friend who actually went to a doctor, and because she had excessive bleeding, the doctor said, oh, please admit your daughter right away and she needs a blood transfusion, otherwise she may die and bleed to death. How would you, Meenu, address these kind of situations?
These are the possibilities. Sometimes during puberty, they can have very heavy bleeding. We have seen girls, I am sure Gupta sir has also seen, coming with a hemoglobin of 4 gram% or 5 gram%, and they do need blood transfusion and they need to be treated ASAP.
Okay, so there are those cases where it's very important to know your hemoglobin count.
Absolutely.
And then that correlated with your bleeding can really pose severe complications as well in girls. And so mothers need to be educated and make sure that they're checking their daughter's hemoglobin on a regular basis. And to what extent is, just awareness and education become a part of the school curriculum in India, do you think, both in urban as well as rural India, doctor?
It's hardly there, and that's something that we need to address. And we have what we call an Asmita movement,
and fantastic.
We go to the various schools through our CSR and NGO effort, and we actually try and converse with these girls first, find out what they are using, what they are doing. We provide them with vending machines in their schools and provide the pads at a very low price, just 2 rupees, when a pad costs 10 rupees. And we talk of taxes. Why? In fact, sanitary pads are something that we should subsidize. That's my view. And we should have a movement for that. That we ask the government, no, this is an essentiality that will improve the whole health of our nation. Not just, we are talking of, Swachh Bharat, this is a part of it.
I think that's brilliantly put, Dr. Gupte. Thank you so much. One more question I had is, when you talk about disorders or complications pertaining to periods, Meenu, when you get your patients, Is there a certain age, do you see more of these complications in teenage years, in reproductive years, in menopausal years, and are there certain phases when you have fewer of these problems, or it's across the spectrum and depends on the patient?
We see it either at an earlier age, adolescent puberty time, or we see it at a later age, that means premenopausal, or when they are just menopausal or postmenopausal. In between also we do see problems. See, normal menstrual cycle is 28 days plus minus 7 days. Okay. So, if a lady comes to me and she has cycles every 21 days, I will be worried if she is trying to become pregnant, because she is exhausting her ovarian reserve very fast. Okay. If there is a woman who comes to me, her cycles are 35-45 days, I will be worried if she is obese, if she has any other PCOS symptoms. So, I would rather have her periods, she should have her periods regularly.
So these are the things you keep in mind when patients come to you. Well, that's fantastic. And I have to share a story here because we're talking about myths and stigmas and taboos. So I happen to be an opinionated woman, blessed with a loud voice. I mean, it's just born with it, right? What do I do? So every time I put a strong point across, not just in India, but even when I was working in the US, there'd be like these little whispers saying, are you PMSing? And I'm like, no, I mean everything that I'm saying factually.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with my hormones. I mean, it's evidence-backed, statements that I'm making. Why are you patronizing me by saying, are you PMSing? So I think in the work culture as well, women are often almost sort of, I don't know what the word is, but it's, you don't have to
categorize.
Yeah, and you don't have to sort of discount what they're saying by calling it, oh, she must be PMSing. I mean, that's so unfair, right? Any taboos you'd like to talk about, Meenu?
Everybody should know that menstruation is procreation. If they don't menstruate, they cannot procreate. So that is very important. I think the boys and the girls and the family members should know that menstruation is a normal physiological process.
I think it's a great segue to our two lovely ladies. And we'll start with Jyoti.
Yeah, I started my menstruation at the age of 11, but my mother had completely educated me at the age of around 9.
Wonderful.
So I was totally very clear what it is, how it is. And then, but in the initial stages, I used to have a very excessive bleeding, lot of leg pain, menstrual cramps, stomach pain, and I had a very small cycle of almost, like ma'am had mentioned, 20 to 21 days cycle. And we kept running to doctors, like, she's of a less age and how to handle. Nothing helped much. That time, 30 years back, things were not very advanced, but slowly it settled down in 2 to 3 years. And then I had a normal cycle from almost 11 to till 37 years of age. It went smoothly. Then again it was an excessive bleeding. It was not continuous, but the bleeding was excessive. It was almost like water, and it was difficult to manage. So finally we started with the medication, and it controlled my periods. But on and off I tried stopping the medicine, because we have a concept, for how many days we can take a hormone medicine, and people talk about side effects, and there are side effects like mood swings, weight increase, the stomach getting bloated, and the acne on the face, and many other things. And most important, I think, is mood swings. It leads to depression.
And now we move on to you, Dipti. Let us hear about your story and your journey with periods.
Okay. So to begin with, it was like I am the first daughter in 5 generations. Okay. So my father was not very happy that the first born was a daughter, and the second obvious thing that happened was at puberty. My mom had prepared me, more so it happened in the school because I was in a co-ed school. But when it actually happened, my father was like, oh, okay. And probably what I expected was a hug, he being vocal or he being sensitized to it. And his oh, okay really put me off. And the other thing was, now that I'm heading a little towards menopause, and that I have 2 boys, I wanted to kind of make them aware of this part of a woman, And the next best part was me starting at home, because they don't have a sister, even amongst cousins. I had to teach them what is this all about. I was like, look, this is what it is. And my elder one was a little sensitive, like, is that what is connected to the mood swings? And okay, I was like, okay, so that is one thing I need to tell you, because I said, why do you ask? So he said, well, leave you aside, but I do see it with my friends too. So for me, this topic came out more loud and clear is about A, the taboo part of it, and B, openly talking about it. You know, right from toilets to pads to mood swings. I mean, everything is bundled around we as a women. So for me, that was the closest part, that you need to be vocal. I said, you guys really got to educate yourself, especially when you're getting married. You know, I mean, when you talk or when you make those funny jokes about women, please understand this part as well.
You know, so start educating the boys as well and not just the girls. I think this is a very, very important take-home message. Thank you for that, Dipti.
One is getting a sanitary pad for them. Second thing is where to dispose.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one.
The places which are not looked after or managed by anybody. So these girls really don't know where to dispose. They carry the napkin. Yeah, they don't know
And
where
then
to
they throw
dispose
it,
them
you know,
off.
just...
They just throw it somewhere, because in the house they cannot throw it. There are family, there are people. There is no flushing system of these pads. There are so many toilets which get blocked because they put the pad in the flush thing and they get blocked. So all those
I think
things.
that's a great point. I mean, just figuring out a disposal infrastructure in the country and educating on that as well is very important.
Now we have these menstrual cups available, where easily available. People feel that many times even the young girls will not be able to use it. They are able to use it. They are absolutely hygienic, and you know, just cleaning them is very, very simple.
So you clean them and reuse them.
Reuse them.
They are silicone. They are made
How
of
many
silicone.
times can you use a cup?
Plenty of times. Plenty of times.
So there are two advantages. One is, of course, they still need to use something called a panty liner, because sometimes there can be leakage from outside the cup. Second advantage is they can measure the bleeding. Like you said, how to know how much is the bleeding. So in a cup, they can actually measure the bleeding. So normally we say it's about 80 ml in 5 days. So it's say about 15 to 20 ml per day.
But has this picked up in our country? I don't see a lot of women using it.
No, because you know, they are afraid about using it, and initially there has to be a technique which has to be taught, but it's very simple.
I think that's very important. And you know, as we saw today, there were some very strong opinions, some very, very emotional comments, and basically the key takeaway is, let's remove words like unclean, impure, and substitute them with words like pride and privilege. Periods is something we need to talk openly about, and we need to increase the noise level and increase the awareness. Most importantly, we need to destigmatize everything around periods. So with that, we come to the end of another lovely episode of Uncondition Yourself. I would like to give our two lovely doctors these mugs.
तकदीर अपनी उजली इल्ली ने मन में ठाना है बन के उड़ना है तितली दायरे लांघ के ही तो जीना आया मुझको मैं बदली